Hello and welcome back to the channel. This week has been rather calm, but not without pleasant surprises and sad news. We'll talk about the Resident Evil 9 showcase, how Steam updated their AI policies, and much more. If you enjoyed the gaming news content, leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date with everything. Okay, without further ado, let's jump in. Steam is reworking how developers must disclose generative AI use in games published on its platform. Valve quietly changed the language on its AI disclosure form, clarifying what types of AI involvement actually needs to be disclosed when submitting a title to Steam. Now, developers don't have to list every behind-the-scene AI tool, like workflow helpers or code editors, but they must still disclose any generative AI content that ends up in the game itself or its marketing materials. That includes things like AI-generated art, music, text, or in-game systems that run AI content during gameplay. This tweak aims to focus transparency on content that players will actually see and interact with, rather than internal development processes. However, it's already stirred debate in the gaming community, with some industry figures arguing that such labeling may become meaningless as AI becomes more ubiquitous in production workflows. In hardware news, Valve's upcoming Steam Machine, its powerful Steam OS-powered living room gaming PC, is shaping up to be less stringent than the Steam Deck when it comes to the game verification. According to Valve designer Lawrence Yang, Steam Machine's verified compatibility badges will have fewer constraints than those for the Steam Deck, meaning developers won't have to jump through as many hoops to earn the green checkmark. In fact, Valve has confirmed that if a game is already Steam Deck verified, it will automatically be Steam Machine verified, thanks largely to the Steam Machine's beefier hardware and broader performance envelope. That could result in a larger library of verified games at launch, giving developers an easier path to support the new device. And while Valve hasn't dropped full technical requirements yet, the streamlined approach signals it wants the Steam Machine to offer a more accessible experience, both for players and developers. Last December, Highguard, a new PvP raid shooter from Wildlight Entertainment, a studio made up of ex-Apex Legends and Titanfall developers, closed out the Game Awards with a flashy trailer. But now, reports claim that the team didn't actually pay for the coveted finale slot. Instead, it was apparently given to them by the show itself, possibly because host Geoff Keighley personally chose to feature it there. The Game Awards finale spot is normally astronomically expensive to secure, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars, so this raises eyebrows. Did the show give this unknown title a free pass? And was that a help or a hindrance? Whatever the reason behind the placement, the internet's reaction was less than enthusiastic. The official reveal trailer gathered a flood of dislikes on YouTube and a chorus of criticism across social feeds, with many users expressing disappointment that something so unfamiliar and so early in its marketing cycle was chosen as the show's one last thing. On Reddit and Twitter, gamers lamented that Highguard's reveal felt underwhelming and generic, with comparisons to other hero shooters and repeated references to the Concord fiasco. Some even argued that giving Highguard this prime advertising real estate set the game up for backlash before it's even out, a sentiment echoed in communities where fans joke that the free-to-play hero shooter looks like another Overwatch clone, or declare it dead on arrival. Jokes aside, some people genuinely fear for the Concord 2.0 scenario. For context, Concord was a high-profile online shooter that launched in 2024, only to be pulled offline minutes later due to poor reception and lackluster performance. Now, with Highguard's trailer facing negative sentiment, radio silence from its developers since the awards, and only weeks to go before launch, critics are asking whether this title will buck the trend or share Concord's fate. Highguard is slated for release on January 26, 2026 across Steam, PS5 and Xbox, but with little follow-up marketing and a community skeptical before seeing real gameplay, it's shaping up to be one of the most divisive pre-launch stories of the year. Will this be a sleeper success or a cautionary tale about hype and placement? Stay tuned, we'll be watching how this unfolds. In Marvel Rivals, we welcome Merc with the Mouth himself, Deadpool. The biggest highlight of this patch is Deadpool's official arrival as a playable character. The beloved mercenary brings his trademark guns, katanas, healing factor, and relentless quips, but what really sets him apart is his versatility. Wade Wilson can now switch between roles on the fly, giving players flexibility unmatched by other heroes. This triple role mechanic means he can act as a vanguard, duelist, or strategist, depending on how you approach a match. Whether you're soaking up damage, dishing it out, or supporting your team, Deadpool's kit is built to adapt, making him a unique force in Rivals' evolving meta. With Deadpool's arrival came balance tweaks aimed at fix up the competitive landscape. The official patch includes multiple adjustments across roles and abilities, ensuring the meta doesn't remain stagnant now that the flexible powerhouse is in play. Some team-up abilities have been reworked, including new interactions between Deadpool and Jeff the Land Shark, while older compositions have been removed or altered to keep matches fresh. Developers also implemented various hero buffs and nerfs, aimed particularly at vanguards and duelists, changes intended to prevent any one playstyle from dominating now that Deadpool can fit into almost any lineup. I highly recommend you give it a go, solely to try the unique mechanic of Deadpool's kit. I played him a bit in quick matches and enjoyed the chaos he brings. I cannot say if he's meta, since I'm not a great player, but what I can say is that he's a lot of fun. One of the saddest and most talked about developments in MMO news, the official end of New World Aeternum. Amazon Games has confirmed that its ambitious MMORPG will be shut down and taken offline on January 31st, 2027, after nearly 5 years of service. Originally released in 2021 and later relaunched as New World Aeternum, with expanded content and new platform launches, the MMO once saw peak interest on Steam with concurrent player numbers nearing 1 million, which is a rarity in modern MMO launches. But despite the big start, player engagement tapered over time, and support for new content officially ended last year with the Night Haven seasonal update. As of January 15, 2026, New World Aeternum has been delisted from all digital storefronts, meaning new players can no longer buy and join the game. However, players who already own it will still be able to download and play until the shutdown next year. The Night Haven season, the last major content update, has been extended through the final shutdown date, so existing adventurers can enjoy the world until it closes its doors for good. In-game purchases, such as the Marks of Fortune currency, will be disabled starting July 20th, and refunds for those purchases will not be offered, according to the timeline released by Amazon. Amazon Games has stated it will continue to monitor bugs and performance through this final period, but there are no plans for new content or feature updates beyond ongoing maintenance. The shutdown marks the end of an era for the MMO that once captured massive attention, and its closure has sparked wide discussions in the gaming community about the future of live service titles and what lessons studios can learn from New World Aeternum's journey. Capcom kicked off 2026 with a focused Resident Evil showcase on January 15th, delivering a fresh look at Resident Evil 9 Requiem just 6 weeks before its February 27th launch. While brief, only 12 minutes, the presentation was packed in gameplay details, technical features, and a few surprises that had everyone excited for the new installment, including myself. I think at the heart of the showcase was Requiem's dual protagonist system. Capcom confirmed that veteran Leon Kennedy and new FBI analyst Grace Ashcroft are both playable, but with distinctly different gameplay identities. Leon delivers high-octane action, while Grace leans into the classic survival horror tension. Leon has a refreshed combat toolkit centered on tomahawk melee parry mechanic and robust gunplay. Players can pick up weapons of enemies, which will include brutal chainsaw executions and blending stylish action with tactical decisions. Combat feels inspired by Resident Evil 4 pace, with dynamic finishing moves and aggressive enemy counters, which is great sign. Grace Ashcroft's section evoke traditional survival horror with limited ammo, narrow corridors, and strategic choice. She wields a powerful revolver called Requiem that rewards precision but demands conservation, somewhat like the one featured in Chronos: The New Dawn, also highly recommended game. Grace also unlocks a crafting mechanic using infected blood, adding a chilling twist to the resource management. The showcase highlighted several new systems that deepen Requiem's horror experience, switchable perspectives, players can toggle between first person for immersion and third person for tactical clarity at any time. Smart infected, many enemies exhibit behaviors based on their lives before infection, like janitors cleaning halls or chefs obsessively cooking, encouraging players to study rather than just shoot. And we have expanded difficulty options: casual with aim assist and story focus, standard for balanced play, standard classic brings back ink ribbon saves appealing to the series veterans. These layers promise Requiem to be both accessible to newcomers and nostalgic for longtime fans. Beyond gameplay, Capcom showcased several notable additions: advanced tech support, including ray tracing and modern PC features, cross-media partnership with Porsche and Hamilton, bringing real-world watches and a custom vehicle into the Requiem brand, and some cute merchandise. My take is that overall, the January showcase successfully positioned Resident Evil 9 as an ambitious blend of action and survival horror. With two contrasting protagonists, strategic combat tools, and layered difficulty options, Capcom is clearly aiming to honor the franchise's legacy while pushing its mechanics forward, even if some fans wanted more gameplay and less merch. Alright, that's it for this week. Let me know in the comments section if you're excited about the new Resident Evil game. And as always, leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date with the news from the gaming world.